Requesting a material drop for the designated point, please. Yes, let's keep it going. Go. 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 Yes.
Oh, so we actually did get the Jesta again on this account.
Yes, let's keep it going.
Oh, well, there it is. Oh my god. Well, we didn't spin on Gus, so I don't know if we would have got it, but we do have it on here. But we can try it out here and see if it'd be worth getting on there. All the same. Look at that fucking rifle, by the way. Jesus Christ. Ginny Chris, bro. For once, though, we do still have Gus's tokens. So if this isn't ass, and if it actually is going to be a decent pick, we can try to go for it. On Gus, retroactively. So I'll take that over the usual. But we do have it. God, that means I'm gonna have to do another video. Shit. Content. Oh lord. Effort. My soul. What is going on, everybody? Gustav the 13th here with another video, as the Jesta Cannon has just dropped this week. So, right out of the gate, I don't really know how I feel about us getting a support for what's essentially going to be the last of our drops for the anniversary. But it is one that was pretty inevitable at the end of the day, and we will be taking a look at it right now. So, right out of the gate, let's take a look at the weapons here. Both the cannon and the saber are unique to the cannon itself. Did I say cannon? Rifle. But also, look at this rifle. I was talking about it when it dropped, but it's pretty ridiculous. It's a little bit more akin to like how blocky and big the 7th rifle is, except somehow even more ridiculous. Still, 900 power, and when we get into practice, it's gonna seem a little strange. I'm gonna tell you that much right now. It is a 3-hit shot, 3-hit stun, while also having a charge that does instant stun. Not too bad, although that power definitely leaves something to be desired, but it has a 450 range on that bad boy. Could be worse. The reload's at 13 and the focus is at 3 seconds. Regular fatty swings for this, as we'll see in a second. The Jesta Vulcan pod system, still not bad. A solid thing on here. 130 power, ammo 40, range is 150, while having a decent firing rate, but also a pretty good stun threshold. And then we get to the bread and butter, more or less, the shoulder beam cannon. Another one that is rapid fire with a 45% heat rate. And kinda decent output. Also does have its own charge, as you can see, 2-second focus time, which is not bad. And overheat is 15 seconds. Shoulder missile launcher. Both this and the leg mounted grenades are, you know, the cumulative stun blast down. I would say this one's a little bit more reliable too, not only because it's at a higher elevation, but because when we get into this, you'll see that the leg mounted grenades, I don't know if they just follow the cursor a little too much, but it almost feels like they veered to the right a little bit, and it's a bit odd. Also, shoulder launcher grenade, you cannot actually fire this while boosting, but it does have a decent range of 300, and it is just launched forward. It is not something that you lob. It is not something that just comes out of a hole in your titty or something weird like that. And then, of course, you have an extra little stun here with the Jesta Cannon's grenade launcher. 1300, ammo of 1, 200 range with a reload of 11.3. So, in general, as you'll probably notice here, some of these overheat or reloads, all of them are mostly in the teens, outside of maybe 1 or 2 exceptions. But you're definitely going to be going down the line, especially when we look at the skills. But for now, let us also take a look at the stats. So we got 21,000 for the health. It is a ballistic resistance of 36, beam resistance of 36, melee resistance of 6, range strength of 43, melee strength of 5, mobile speed is 120, top speed is 185, thruster gauge is 60, and turning speed is 63. For the part slottage, we have close range is 9, medium range is 20, and long range is 15. Of course, this is a 600 suit for ground and space, although it does have space preference, and interestingly enough, melee priority too, which is something I actually didn't see initially. But let us go down the skills here. It has a bit of a laundry list, but honestly, for support at this cost, yeah, I would kind of hope it would have a decent list. So, High Performance Radar 3, High Performance Scope 3, Observational Data Link 1, Frontline Support System 2, Scouting Parallel Processing Device 1, High Performance Aerospace Gimbal 1, which figures considering the space compatibility, High Spec and Back Level 2, Force Injector 1, High Performance Balancer 1, Explosive Reactive Armor 1, Stabilization Device, which is when you're actually crouching, you're less likely to stagger but unable to perform tackling attacks, Precision Shelling, which means on top of getting that extra resistance, you're also getting more out of your modifier for crouching, as well as Precision Sniping. So not only do they want you to hunker down, but they also want you to scope in, and you're getting a 35% up for that. And the damage to your leg, head, and back parts increases by 20%. So that's kind of a weird trade-off. So you're getting some resistance for this, but also damage reaction to units with damaged parts will also be greater, which is pretty nice. Seems like they really want you to do this at like a decent range. I don't know how often you're going to find that situation, and when we look at some of our footage, and when I talk about some other scenarios that we did even just during the customs, you're going to understand. Also, a special shoulder buffer is at 10% for level 1, and a special arms equipment buffer is at 15%. So, decent that they have at least a couple buffers on this thing, considering how much stuff is sticking off of it. Overall, pretty par of the course for supports. And right out the bat, it should be noted that this is sharing some room with a fair amount of other supports, not only more recent ones, but also more prominent ones. But looking really quick at the enhancement list, you get Complex Expansion level 1 right out of the gate at 390, 80 FCS, which gives us extra range at 790, Anti-Ballistic at +1 for 1190, Anti-Beam Armor Reinforcement level 1, which is extra 1 Anti-Beam for 1990. And then the 2 unlockables, which are at silver since this is 2-star hell, is Emergency Sortie, which shaves off a second at 3980, and more +4 range modifier at 5970. So, let us take this into a practice round, and we'll do a rundown of how things behave before moving on to checking out a match here.
I handle pilot sorties for the whole camp. Ready to begin?
Alrighty. So, let us investigate a little bit. You know what I should have did is turn off the voices, but it should be okay. So yeah, the charge right out of the gate, 3434 on a general without any parts or anything, not too bad. The charge, as you can see, has a decent amount of speed. If we give it the old 3-tap, you do get a stun out of it. Conversely, if you try to burst this, you do not get a stun even for the 3 rounds. Definitely a lot lower of an accumulation. Honestly, if I could do some duel with AI, it might be a little bit easier to show that. But having some of the different types to hit in this mode is still fine. So definitely anything with neutral, you're gonna feel a big difference. Instant stun on the grenade, as you can see. Actually, let's give it to this guy for the Vulcan. Not bad, a little bit over half of our 40 mag here. Finish him off real quick. Also, as you can see, this is another suit that covers the entire quick thing. Check out the trajectory on the stun here. Just launches straight forward, very nice. Actually, I think this has 3, 4, 5, damn. So anything that has control on it and stuff, definitely gonna be taking a second. Actually, let's find a different target then. Maybe I can see if I can get a decent like range at this. Like if we try to hit him from here. So this is the shoulder missiles. Decent amount of accumulation there, as you can see. Some of those did veer up. And here goes the oh god, chill out. The leg missiles as well. little bit of a delay. The second that you try to move them a little bit, you're definitely going to see them fan out a little bit more. A lot of this really does depend on you legit just like coming out maybe to like a decent range, hunkering down somewhere and just kind of getting in there. So of course you get a difference in hit. In fact, the shoulder cannon should be a good. So 18, 20, 26, 37. So that's a pretty good tick up, even just for that. That being said, realistically, when you're in these situations, you're not really going to have that much time unless you really do have a powerful front line or a decent buffer between you and the enemy. And as you can see, when it's actually sitting on on angles, because it's actually just affixed to the legs, they kind of come out in different ways. When we were actually doing it from over there, we were on I guess a flatter surface as far as the game is concerned. But that might be why it looked like it was coming out to the left, or not to the left, but to the right to me before. The full charge on this also pierces. As you can see, we have a little bit of a red mark over there. So, not bad. Definitely some good properties on a lot of these weapons. And of course, as you were saying before, typical Federation swings on this bad boy. Someone also noted that pretty much all of the anniversary suits, by the way, were just Fetty. There were no real Zeonic designs in there. And to be honest, even the property, a lot of the Xeon stuff is just War Museum stuff, because you know they're remnants and stuff. What do you expect? But yeah, type disadvantage. Looking a little rough. Not gonna lie. A lot of these suits are gonna have a lot of maneuver armor and whatnot as well. And someone yesterday actually had a very interesting title for this thing that I think when you look at the footage in game, you're gonna kind of get an idea. And it is the idea that this has plenty of damage. Like as you can see, I'm shifting between these. The reload speed, because of the rate of fire on these weapons, really isn't much of a thing, and the heat dissipation is pretty fast. Like you're able to just constantly switch between weapons without a lot of this overheating, which is the other thing to note, is that the cannon being heat-based like this is pretty nice between all these ammo-based weapons, because it does give you a chance to just kind of, you know, crouch down, lay into these, do a quick tap with the rifle, throw out some other stuff. You have a lot of other things to sit through. You also have the grenade and this for a little bit of extra self-defense in case you need to do landing punishes for things that are trying to advance on you. And although both of these do have decent charge times for what's essentially their extra instant stuns, I'm assuming you're probably going to have to rely on some of that other stuff, just because this is a suit that is all output and not a lot of support. And that might be a little unfair to it, but because all of this is just mostly for output and some accumulation, you really do have to just sit there and hope that you do have enough time to, you know, sit for that charge when you actually find someone in trouble, or, you know, hope that you can accumulate enough missiles on a person while they're fighting so that you can actually, you know, bail somebody else out and then continue to do damage. Or you can just sit there, hunker down, and hope that you kill them in time to stop the other person from dying. And more often than not, especially when you're on the spot, you're probably going to end up choosing the latter. Now, if that's not you, then I very much commend you, and you're very much focused on your craft, and good job to you. But, deep down, I kind of feel like there's some other suits, especially at this cost, that tend to do what this is trying to do better, but this is a very safe, moderate choice between all of those, especially when you consider the constant stream of damage that this can do. And we'll be showing that, and I think a couple examples. Mostly a main match that we did on Port Base Moist, although there were some other highlights from another one that I may or may not put in, and apologies ahead of time if I don't. But we will check out that match right now.
I actually want to try this suit out for this match.
Alright, round 2. Now we got our buttons at least.
Want me to
So somehow I actually put my parts on one setup, and then that was 2, and then 1 just didn't have anything. And I just assumed it was there, but it was not.
Did you go into a match without sleeves?
Weird.
It's funny. That sucks. Wait. That's why I always check my parts.
Alright, so now we actually have our shit going on.
Alright.
I am speed.
Big zoom and perhaps Neum.
Punching.
What is? Ooh!
Oh, Masala. Oh god. Man got
I
murdered.
knocked you out of sky.
I
No
give
worries.
bunk. Is that an Alex? Is that what that is?
I just found an Alex.
Yeah, there it is.
It
Oh
dodged.
god. Masala plays. Stop. Oh, there's a full armor.
Eh,
I see those missiles.
Howdy.
Oh, I gotta remember I
Come
can...
back. You can blame it all on me,
Oh my
please.
Oh,
Blame it from that rate.
Let's show it to him. Oh, some of us. Oh, hold on. Oh, it's Asian. Get out of here, Stinky.
He's an act guy.
I mean, he's an act guy, but we had type disadvantage.
Get that man.
And he's got a buddy here now. Oh, lord. As a no.
Watch out for the Faz behind.
Oh,
No,
Right
don't
there,
watch out
side.
for the Faz behind. There's
Beware.
no Faz right behind Gustav.
Do not
right now.
proceed the Faz.
Ah, shit, I shot the wall instead of shooting Gustav.
Continue doing that, please.
stun rate actually. One of those missiles were.
Oh, wait, you're... Oh, yeah, that's right. Gustav is actually in...
Bye.
I have high resistance, like as if I'm fucking 600.
You have.
Oh my god.
I have
it's
like I'm ranging from 30 average, so it's just normal. As if I'm like bare bones minimum.
I'm gonna grab this real quick, because we should have got this a lot sooner anyway.
This tomato, as well as the salt that I harvested from my enemies earlier.
There needs to be an animation of that, just you sprinkling it on there.
Love this guy. Staying as a pilot.
Like, salt-based
Okay, I might
style.
make it to, like the at least not the.
Did he just get absolutely like bodied in the beginning and now he's just sitting at base?
I think he's trying to go to. He's trying to walk to a point.
Oh god.
He's a D-minus, so he's very. So I'm just gonna make it so like you can't see shit like that. I tried.
That's what's going on.
Yeah, because I mean the bigger thing for like minimum cost stuff like that is that it could be new players, it could also just be people in dumb smurf accounts dicking around.
I'd rather just not have.
Oh!
Yeah, but no, that's what I'm saying. Like both of those options are bad.
Yeah.
You are so
Because
lucky.
you know people will like smurf.
Wait,
Yeah, and just dick around on accounts that aren't related to their main name.
For fuck's
Oh,
sake.
Yeah,
wow.
so they can feel good about themselves.
That's interesting.
I've seen that a lot. People posting games and they're like demolishing D-minus and it looks like really.
Seal clubbing.
It's not a good thing at all.
Yo, he's just staying as a pilot. I hate this.
Hey, Mr. Stop.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
No, but bye bye to me. Oh, Parar's in the Alex. Nice.
Yeah, it's Parar. I don't know. I don't know why.
No, Dodger. Where did they go? Damn it.
Oh, Asian got fucking nailed. Then fucking Jesta found him. Get him, Cyber. Boy, that man.
I feel like I'm about to get hit by this if I play over there.
Go ahead and find out.
I knew it!
No, no, no.
I knew it!
You Asian.
Only looking.
He's like, catch it.
I'm only looking
Catch it
at
with
a
your
fucking
teeth.
pilot. I don't really fucking. I'm just staring at him.
Cyber,
Perceiving
get away
this
from
man.
me. God damn it. Blocking all of my
Wait,
shots.
was he the Jesta Cannon that was on your team that I bullied?
What was he?
Full armor Mark II.
Yeah, he was a full armor.
Oh, he was a full armor Mark II.
And he's just going around
I
capping.
killed someone that was
ever
sitting
so
by our
much slowly.
base.
God, alright.
Full armor wouldn't have been the worst thing either, but yeah, it's whatever.
Leads.
Whoa.
Everything.
These shock dampeners. Holy fuck, man.
I will say, I knew he was in, like, defense mode still, so I was like, I gotta hit Gustav to make this worth.
Literally what they could do, give a shock dampener.
Oh, you
give
got
it
me
control
too.
one and
Oh, the shield.
No.
give it like, yeah, it's probably gonna be a little mean, but I'm probably just gonna, honestly, I'm just gonna raise the cap.
Yeah, it's alright. It's not a punch my butt. Dut.
Don't worry.
No. You cannot stop me.
Be nice to me.
My body.
And missiles, you better not.
How dare.
Balls.
How dare.
God damn it.
What the fuck? Headshot.
Oh.
Oh! No, I was gonna get out of my suit so I could
Stupid. Oh my god.
You guys are struggling against three suits struggling against the
Oh,
guy.
damn, you almost jumped into my missiles.
Not even struggling, it's just no one's
The power of the edge.
one person shooting at you at one point. At any given time, I should say.
Yo, is this dude gonna go for a baseball? Is that what's happening?
This
I
man
did
is
a try
slowly
hard day
wasting
today,
his time.
Gustav. I made it back to A+.
Oh, nice.
I was like, I've been eating a little too much after the drunk Banshee session.
Oh god.
I need to, I have a day where I play seriously, and since we didn't have customs going on, I was like, okay, we're climbing.
New York was so weird, but I kind of like it.
Oh.
What's so weird?
Yeah, like it feels, and maybe it's just because it's like customs right now, but like, I wonder how that's gonna feel in clans when there's gonna be a lot more rush down. Oh god, leave me alone.
Oh my god! My head's damaged!
No, no bullet, no.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
bye.
yes.
Myself against someone save me.
Yeah. Oh
Someone
shit,
save me.
missed.
He's breaking my legs. He's breaking my legs. Stop this man. He's
Asian, get out of there.
Okay, you stand there. That's fine.
This fucking toilet gremlin over here.
Still builds up stun.
My
Like,
paint job does not help me
that would be
hide water.
interesting to
No, it
know
does.
how much stun buildup would be.
Oh shit. Ah, don't hit me, no. Be nice to me.
You're gonna get stunned off of that?
Yeah.
Number two's finally making it to the base to try to play.
He's doing it. Yeah. I believe. Round of applause for this man. Secret Agent Man coming in clutch for his team.
Connor coming in.
Time has run out.
Almost.
This
Oh,
man.
wait, I just realized.
I'm blocking him too.
Masterful plays. Nah, yeah, fuck it. Block him. Secret Agent Man. Who that? I don't know.
He plays Fortnite. Go back to Fortnite.
This man. So yeah, that match definitely pretty neat. It is a little bit unfortunate that we did have that one guy that was kind of throwing in there, but looking at how it was dealing with even a low cost guy, like yes, they had some compensation for that. That's just kind of what's in the game. But even so, time disadvantage is very scary in this suit. It does not have a lot of hellacious heavy stagger or Garobis to lean on that can stop people in their tracks. You really do just have to find a good spot and be okay with just being a bit more of a, a walking sentry that just, props itself up, takes the spot, and then scopes in and just starts fucking cycling on people. If you're more used to the usual stuff that you would do, let's say like in a tank suit, or maybe you just are very much someone who likes to scope in and just, kind of do the deed from far away, this is definitely one for you. Which is interesting because on the surface, this seems like it should be, and it can be to a certain degree, more of a flexible mid to long as opposed to dedicatedly stationary and, you know, doing stuff from long range. Although I will say in a lot of those situations, the second someone starts barreling down on you, unless you really do have a lot of faith in these missiles, and to a certain degree you kind of can, you're probably gonna run into some trouble. But overall, not a bad suit. I don't know if I have a lot of confidence to say that this will be a very common pick in clan matches coming up, especially when you have things like the Zulu Angelo, you know, supers and whatnot are still going to be bumping around. There's a lot more prominent support picks for a 6-man team that make more sense, especially when you're considering that it's going to be City Ruins as well. Having more abrupt stopping power is probably going to be the order of the day. And on top of that, you also have the Delta Gundam running around, which is a lot more flexible in terms of its mobility because it is a transformable suit. But overall, I mean, look at what I'm doing here. Like, it's absurd. You're just constantly shitting out stuff. If you are a fan of the Bulldog, then this is just the next logical and I think, what, higher cost step to that? So you're probably going to be right at home, you know, and as many kind of so-so or meh gripes as I may have about this suit, it's a decent banner. Do I think it's something that should have been part of the anniversary or like particularly even towards the ass end of it? Not really. But, you know, anniversaries tend to be very front-loaded when it comes to GBO2. That's definitely not going to be changing anytime soon, especially when they're trying to draw in people. So, you know, a nice addition. It was one that was definitely inevitable. We'll probably see a few other Jesta and even Jagan variants as well as if we get into AOZ. So we'll be seeing more Hazel-related things as well. So get used to it, especially now that we're going to be coming out of anniversary, because you're going to be getting a lot of middle line cost suits and a lot of variants until we hit the next big event. And honestly, I'm not even sure if Halloween's going to count in that regard outside of maybe a limited mission and just some aesthetic changes to the base again. But overall, like I said, solid support. I'm sure there's going to be people who figure out like perfect loops or like in more coordinated teams, this thing's probably going to be really cracked just because there's constantly something to do with it. But in your overall, do try to be careful, and especially depending on the map that you're going to be running this on when you're doing pubs, or even in particularly if you know that you're fighting very aggressive groups in clan matches. Just because the rushdown is going to be very real, and unless you really know that you can cycle effectively to keep them away, it's going to be very hard to hold people down. So, that is our general take for the Jesta Cannon. I'll definitely try to get some more matches on this, especially since I have it on Ginny, so it means I can, you know, just kind of mess around with this at cost. And until next time, this is Gustav the 13th. I'll talk to you all later.